What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And this one I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 in Minecraft. This is part 10, and in this one we're going to be doing the entire game station floor. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we'll get the front wall laid out a little bit, but that's really all we do. Hopefully we'll be able to do more, but you know, that's not bad as a large floor. And anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so the main goal here is just getting as much of the floor laid out as we can so we can start working on the walls later and I guess any other decoration stuff, although we're not getting probably that far in this particular part because of how big this room is. You want to start off by getting out though. Cyan concrete, red concrete, and realistically yellow concrete is all you need for now, and I think we will just go with that, yeah. We could get out more stuff for just consideration, but there's really no point. So I want to take the bamboo here, these kind of outermost bamboo pillars, and I want to just place a cyan concrete underneath each of them and then extend it in by one. Place red concrete in the center there. We're going to actually use the entrance of the room as the front wall this time rather than the back, just because we're going to be working that way, it's easier. Left and right of the original cyan concrete row. Anyway, you'll extend it out by one, and then we'll go out with a red concrete. You can, I guess, connect those red concretes on the edges here forward. Do not connect the middle ones because, well, you're filling in the rectangle in the center here and with cyan concrete. But this is the really center path that we're going to be making. Both the edge row of red concrete and cyan concrete are going to remain pretty much untouched. They do end up going all the way back. Actually, they do remain untouched, although eventually the cyan will overtake the red for a little bit of a doorway, I guess, if you will, or an opening. Anyway, you want to take this row of 3 red, and you want to place 2 more rows of red behind it to get one further out on each side from the previous row. So it'll be a row of 5 and then a row of 7. On the right side, you will extend this row back by 9 from this side. You'll end up going from this red back diagonally left one, back diagonally left by 2, left 1, and then back diagonally left 1. And then you'll just connect it forward from here. Because I'm paranoid, I will count this number. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is what you should have. And I will make sure that I have the same, which I do. And then you'll just fill in the center with red concrete, I guess. I guess so. If you insist. We will start from, well, actually, I guess the easier way about this is you'll just place 3 full rows of yellow behind each red. So just really like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you'll notice it will just mirror the shape, or mimic the shape rather. I guess it's not really mirroring it, but you get the point. Place behind each of those then a cyan concrete, a red concrete, a cyan concrete, and then a yellow concrete. So you have this, essentially. You can then place... What is it? Is it really just... It's really just 8 rows of red from each block. From there. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. Fun times. It's one of the more fun tutorials to record, I'm finding. Security Breach Lobby was not particularly fun for me. I don't know why, but this one has been really enjoyable overall. And then behind that, guess what? You'll place 4 rows of yellow. I don't want to hit you with too many at once because, yeah, unless they're, like, of course, really thin, but most of these are not. You'll then behind that place 5 rows of cyan, and that's really where we'll stop this kind of pattern. Just like so. Now, I say we stop this pattern. I would add 1 row of red at the end here just so we can kind of use this to help us with the next step. Now, I did say this was all we would need for now. I would get out mangrove slabs along with blue concrete, which will be very important. I mean, not really, but it's important. It just is. Just don't question it any further than that. So you want to take the one diagonal of red concrete here, which is the very center one if you're noticing, and you'll just place a mangrove slab over it. You'll extend it left and right by 1, and then back diagonally out on either side from there by 1. Then go out 1, back diagonally out 1, back 1, back diagonally out 1, back by 2, back diagonally in 1, and then I guess back 1, because I did it at the same time for some reason. Back diagonally in 1 again, in 1, back diagonally in 1, and then connect together. And it should give you a kind of fairly perfect circle. A little bit, I guess, cornery, but that's not a word. Fill in the center with mangrove slabs, ignoring made-up words, because none of those were, I don't think. Unless mangrove is made up, but I'm pretty sure that's a type of tree in real life. I don't know. I don't do tree research in my day-to-day life, although I should. Be a fun little hobby to pick up. I swear I placed an extra one, but it just doesn't exist, I guess. Okay, sure. If you want, you can place blocks under this. I really don't think it matters. The lighting really won't shine through because it's in the direct freaking center of the room and no light will reach it. But if you want, you can, absolutely. It is up to you. So the red on the right side here, you'll just extend it back a little bit so it kind of fills in the gap there. Nice. Now, here's where things get a little bit weird. I would extend the row of cyan concrete. Well, I guess also you'll need these corners here as well. But I'll extend these rows of cyan concrete all the way back until they are essentially at the mangrove slabs where they'll stop. Just like this. You will take the one just before the mangrove slab front row, which is this one right here on both sides, and you'll place a red concrete on the outside of it. Not really important yet, but it will be important fairly soon here. That's more so a marker than anything, but it's going to mark something important. So, on the left side, we'll start with this. You want to, from the kind of 2 mangrove slab diagonal here on the left side of this circle, it'll be the one just before the 3 you're specifically taking. You'll place a red concrete just left of it. It should be below a block as well, but I guess it's not as important. You'll then from that go back diagonally left by 2, and then back by 5. So you should have a row of 6 there. Again, I'm paranoid, so I'm counting. You'll then extend it left by, well, funnily enough, from this back block, 6 with red. And then, really, I guess we'll go 4, 5, 6. We'll go 7 with cyan. Just like so. You'll then extend forward by 10. And then you should be able to connect all the way to the right with cyan concrete, and it should just end up going behind this little singular red concrete here, which is correct. Off, really I'll say the back and left of this, you'll just place blue concrete on the inside. You'll then extend it, end up extending it forward on the right, and then from this front right-hand corner all the way left to create this little rectangle of blue concrete. You will not fill in the center of this because it stays open for the just ability to access all of them. Right of it, though, you have this kind of space at the front, this little, not really a triangle, but it's almost a triangle. It's more of a trapezoid. You'll just fill it in with cyan concrete, whatever shape it is. Nice. That is good to get that built because that kind of means we're going in the right direction with things. Speaking of which, do we want to... Let's take the red concrete here behind it, where this kind of stopped, and we're going to just start making some shapes here. You'll go back diagonally left with a red, and then left one. Then back diagonally left by 2, and then back by 2. Then back diagonally left by 1, and back by 5. Then back diagonally left by 1, and back by 6. I love lagging as I'm trying to count. You'll then place 2 yellow, cyan, red, cyan, 2 yellow, and then we will end with 6 red again. This will be the, I guess, back lower wall of the game station. You will extend everything from this front yellow back to the right by 3 rows. Just like this. It is going to be a lot of this. This entire part will probably be just me throwing out numbers and making this floor pattern. Although the, like, I guess remaining areas will be good. Also, yeah, that is a thing. The banner letters offload when you're on the other side, which is a little bit unfortunate, but there's nothing I can do about that. You will take this yellow here, and you'll take, well, out of these front 2 rows, you'll take the back row and extend it right with a cyan. Then go forward with 2 yellow, right 1, forward 1, right 1, forward diagonally right by 2, right 1, and then forward by 1 from either of those. Then from the front right, you'll go right 1, or sorry, forward 1, and then right 1. Then you'll extend this right 1 forward by 2. Each of those front 2 can be brought to the right by 1 each. Front right corner again, right, or forward 2, Jesus. Those front 2 will each be brought right by 1 each. Then from this front right, you'll go forward 1, right 1, forward 1, right 1, forward 1. And then you should be able to connect forward with red concrete. When you place this line, we should in theory end at the, like, furthest left row of the circle, and it should be 9 red concrete. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And as you can see, that is correct, other than the fact that I botched that so hard. But yeah, we line up just there. And that is perfect. Just where we want to be. I would fill in this kind of weird shape here in with red concrete. Just, it'll be nice to fill in some areas between these weird patterns, because, yeah. And, yeah. I do advise also this would be a good part too, if you want to split it up or whatever, just take a break. Also, members, I sincerely hope this is right. I will notice before this is public, I swear, but, you know, I am very paranoid that I'm gonna mess up one little thing on this floor and then realize in, like 4 parts from now, and then have to come back and fix it. So, you do run that risk. Hence why I've wanted to wait to publish these a little bit, but it should be long enough by now, because I should be done, in theory, recording this part or this entire segment once the first part is out, I think. At the rate I'm going. Anyway, you want to now... How do we want to go about this? We'll take this row of 2 yellow here at the far right, and you'll place a little bit of blue to the right of it. You'll extend the blue forward by 3, along with back by 7. And I'm going to trace that and see that I'm in line with that little bit of a 2x2 square of yellow, and I am. You'll also extend this back one to the, I guess both the back and front ones to the right by 8. And then connect together again. And I can just make sure that everything is in line. So basically all I'm going to check is that if I take the center of this circle, I'll just place like a yellow concrete here, and you see I have 4 off either side of it, and that would mean that is centered. I will also see that that is about 2 blocks there. I'll just confirm, and yes, it is. And that means we are doing good so far. Just anywhere I can check it. It should, in theory, make it so I don't have any issues with being wrong, but there is always a chance, because you never know. I missed the one thing that I need to check. Anyway, you want to take the back row of blue concrete here, and just to the left of it, you will place 3 cyan concrete, a red concrete, and then a cyan. All this is going to have you do, really, is right of each of these yellows in front of this, you'll place a cyan concrete and then a red concrete, which will leave you with this. The little 7 you are seeing, you will fill in with cyan concrete. Behind only the blue concrete, you will place just a little row of cyan concrete here. This is the only spot where it goes back any more than that for at least the particular flat part here. You'll see what I mean when we start the right side in a second. But yeah, I guess before we start the right side, we should maybe consider making some more yellow and stuff. Take the front left blue of this little rectangle we've made and count right by 1. Place a yellow. Extend it right 1, forward 1, right 1. This little, again, really strange shape left of this will be filled in with red concrete, and then we can start working to the right. Right of each of these yellows, you will place a cyan concrete and then a red concrete. The red concrete will end up keeping this diagonal going, so you'll have 2 here, and then from this bottom one you'll go, I guess, or forward one, you'll go forward diagonally right by 1, like so. Right of each of those reds, you will place 2 cyan. And then from this one here, this kind of overhanging one, you'll go forward with a cyan, so you're kind of in this little divot. Right 2, forward 1, right 1, and then right with a blue. Extend the blue back by 1 along with forward by 7. And again, I'll just check that this is centered on the circle, which it is. And it should be in line with the other one, as far as spacing as well. So I'm 3 off there, and I am 3 off there. Nice. So you'll then again take the ends of blue and extend them to the right by 11. And then connect together here. We'll notice if that one is wrong, though. And you can kind of look and see, like, they look about the same size. You'd probably notice if one was different. That one does look less for some reason, but I think it's the way it's oriented is throwing me off. Because I know it's not. That one's definitely right. If any of them are right, it's that one. I'm telling you that now. So anyway, you want to be looking at the right side here, and you'll take the cyan on the particular back portion. And I can't really give you a like direction here, but I'll just say, well, we'll start by going forward and placing just a singular red in front of each cyan. And then a cyan in front of each red. And then really only on the right side here you want a little bit of yellow. Like so. You'll extend each of these yellows forward with what should be 5 cyan concrete. Which will just be behind this red again. You'll have to bring it left a row for it to actually be behind, but regardless, you have this. You'll do the same thing where you essentially extend the cyan right and then back until you're just kind of at the corner there. So you'll go right by, what is it going to be? It'll be like 13? Yeah, 13 cyan to the right. And then you'll go back by 10. And then instead of left with however many cyan, you will place 10 red concrete. And then you should be able to place 5 yellow concrete, which will connect back into the cyan. The middle yellow will be brought forward by 1. And I suppose the alternative you can do here is from this first row of cyan, right of it, you'll place a row of 3 yellow. And then this row here, between the rows of yellow, you'll place what should be, or yeah, between the rows of yellow, you'll place a row of 4 yellow. Head back to the furthest right red concrete on this row right here, and we can end up almost sectioning off another area to fill in. You'll go back diagonally left by 1, and then back 1. Back diagonally left by 3, and then back 1. Back diagonally left by 3, back 1. Back diagonally left by 3, back 1. And then you should be able to connect left into the blue concrete with 4 red concrete. And this whole area you just kind of, I guess, sectioned off will be filled in with red concrete. Yeah, we're setting ourselves up pretty good, I would say, for the rest of this. We will have to kind of box off 2 separate areas, and then once we have those areas boxed off, it'll end up being just a lot of filling in. It'll be after we're finished this little corner, though, because there's still more. To the right of each red concrete, you want a cyan concrete. This should be familiar as well. And then I'll give you the outline for the yellow, because this one's kind of weird. Behind the back cyan here, you'll place a yellow right there. You can see where it's positioned from the red. You'll go right 1. Back diagonally right 1, and then forward diagonally right by 4. You'll then go forward 1, forward diagonally right 1, forward 1, forward diagonally right 1, forward 2, forward diagonally, right 1, and then forward by 2, which should connect into the cyan. Everything between the cyan and yellow is getting filled in with yellow. And then we'll have one little thing I know more to do, which will end up giving us the same outline as we have over there. Is that one even right? It feels like I'm missing something. No, I guess I'm not. Never mind. Just a lot of diagonals, apparently. From the backmost yellow, you will go from it back diagonally right by 3 with cyan. So that does, in fact, check out then. You'll then go back with a red, and then back diagonally right with a red. Go back 1, then back with a yellow, cyan, red, cyan, yellow, and then 4 red. With the exception of that front red, well, I guess, no, actually, I lied. You'll just extend everything to the right by 3, though. I guess you are still kind of doing this one differently because this front one is brought right by 4. They're all being brought to the same line, just the main row will be 3 as opposed to 4 or anything else. But it'll be 4 in total, just like so. In front of this, you want another row of red, which will go to the same distance on the right. It is just a row of 4. And then the furthest right one will be brought forward an additional red, like so. And that's really like the main floor stuff done. Now we have to mark out the, I guess, outer walls along with just what is cyan and what is red to fill in from this point, because they don't exactly intertwine perfectly. So we will start on the right side. I will instruct this twice because it is a little bit weird. You'll take the back row of red here and extend it to the right with 3 cyan concrete. You'll then go forward diagonally right by 1 and right by 2. Then forward diagonally right by 2. Forward 2. Then forward diagonally right by 1. And you essentially want to take this cyan from here all the way forward until you see this line of cyan just in front of the blue concrete box. You want to be in line with that, and you can actually connect to it just to section that area off. We'll do... Is it the exact same? It is the exact same on the other side, yes. So starting from the back left-hand red, you will go this time left with 3 cyan. Forward diagonally left 1. Left 2. Forward diagonally left by 2. Forward 2. Forward diagonally left by 1, and then all the way forward until you can connect right to the cyan just in front of the blue. And you should have this. Those sides there you are filling in with cyan concrete. Do not fill in the center space here. I know that may seem a little bit tempting to just kind of section it off and fill it in. We have the little bit of the elevated bit where the, I guess, staircase is to get up to the train, so we don't want to fill that in. I guess you could, but it's going to be helpful later to just have that outline already available to us so we can just, you know, trace it instead of going back and needing to I guess, especially for me to have to re-say all of those diagonals and stuff. It'll just be easier to say, here you go, trace the inside of this by a block, you know? Which might be this part, I'm not really sure. If we finish the floor in time, it will be, absolutely. You have the other side here. So it'll be really good, though, to have the entire floor laid out, because the floor is definitely one of the more difficult parts. A lot of this is just going to be grinding and doing a lot of that, but this is a little bit more numbery and stuff like that. It's a lot more detail. I did try to get it as accurate as possible. Obviously, there's only so much I can do when I have pretty much 2 images to my disposal from the wiki, along with a video I took that barely has any light, and also was just me walking around staring at the ground. So, you know, I mean, I am doing more than staring at the ground. I'm looking around at the walls and stuff as well, because those are also important. But, you know, regardless, you should end up with this. Before we bring that red all the way forward, I want to point out one area. So we will use the right to do this, but you're doing the same on both the right and the left. Just the right is easier to kind of pinpoint where it starts. This row of 4 yellow here on the right in the original pathway. It's this row right here. It's pretty much before the cyan and where it almost looks like it breaks. You will take the, not the back yellow, but one in front, and you will extend the cyan right of it to the, well, right by 13. And for the other side, we'll do the same, just left instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You get the point, I guess. You should have this. That looks uneven. Why does that look uneven? Whatever. I'm going to pretend that it's not. If I end up with something that it doesn't line up, then I know I'm wrong. But either way, you will take that end one and extend it back on both sides with 7 cyan, this end one specifically. And you should end 1 block before your other cyan. And also you'll be on the 3rd to last blue concrete. Yes, you will be on the 3rd to last blue concrete. You'll then extend this upper blue concrete out by 3. And instead of saying, here's a large freaking number, we're going to do the same from the opposite side of this, which is going to be the front side. So I guess the alternative here is taking this original cyan concrete and extending it forward by 4. It is 5 in total, yeah. And then we'll extend this one here at the front out by 12 now instead of 13. Just whatever makes it line up, I guess, to the other one. There we go. And then you will go forward from that point by 7. Out by 3 again. And then you should be able to connect these outer ones together and kind of create these T shapes. A little bit uneven. It's kind of like if I'm trying to write a T, I guess. Or like make a bubble letter T. It doesn't work, you know? Although I'd probably somehow have this side bigger than this side, let's be honest. Like, I can't draw. Or do anything fancy, for that matter. So, if we do take the front line here, we will note that we're actually in line with that middle red concrete there. Which, if I just draw this over, I see, yes, I am. But you'll fill in those little T-shapes here in with cyan concrete. Because we don't have the front wall, I'm just going to kind of give you a rough estimate of where it should end up being. Not quite. We might end up not even filling far enough for it, just because we don't have that yet. Or alternatively, we could do the side walls first. That might make more sense, but I don't like making sense, so we're going to not do that. It will be fine, trust. It's not like a weird thing. It's just how far we end up filling forward that does get a little bit strange. So you want to take these reds here, these kind of singular reds in the corners that we placed like forever ago, and I was like, this will be important later. Yeah, you'll now extend these all the way out to essentially be just, or it'll stop this line of cyan. It'll be also parallel to it, I suppose. And on the outside, I'd bring this red concrete really all the way forward, and if you really want to fill far enough, you can. I'm gonna fill, where am I gonna fill to? That's a really good question. I'm gonna fill until, I'll fill until the edge of the archway, I think. That makes the most sense, and just kind of tuck it under here. Like so. You will end up wanting to bring it in and connecting it to the wall. I think just the back of the archway will make, or I guess the front of the archway, whatever. The side closest to the side furthest from the game station itself will just make a little bit more sense to put it there, because then we end up, I know kind of where that is, and that'll help later. This entire rectangle here, you're filling in with red concrete. Slash fill will be your friend here. I'm going to slash fill so I can put more into this part, rather than having the next 15 minutes be this. Now it'll be like 5 minutes probably. So I'm going to take this corner, I'm going to just like put a block just below the red, and I'll stand on it, and I'll see that coordinate, so I'll copy it, Control-Alt-C is copy, or you could write it down or whatever. And then I'll head to the opposite corner, which is going to be about here, I guess. It's really as cornery as I can get. That's still not a word. And you'll do slash fill, 3 tildes of those squiggly lines, which will be your current position. Copy in the other one, red underscore concrete, and do not forget the word keep. That will ruin your day. I can guarantee you that much. I've had that happen a couple of times. I destroyed the entire SB Jumbotron once doing that, and I will never forget that day, because that was horrible. It was on stream, too. Guess that just, I needed a little more salt in that wound. But yeah, it was an unpleasant experience for sure. This wouldn't be too much. It would really only destroy the cyan keys, unless you're trying to do the entire floor at once. Then yeah, you're gonna have a problem. But it shouldn't, in theory, be too bad. You really just have to do like the first 10 minutes of the tutorial again, because you're not filling far back enough to actually destroy the main portion of what we've done. So yeah. you should end up with this. We will worry about the fencing as well later, but that looks pretty good, I would say, for the floor, and that's also very large. That is still not the size of the game station, though, because, again, the front wall might not be at the right spot, and just everything else is a problem. You want to now get out yellow terracotta, smooth quartz blocks, and smooth quartz slabs, I guess, and that should be all we'll need. And so you want to head to the side here, and well, really on both sides you're doing the same thing. You will take this first row of the archway that you see here. It's just in front of this kind of spire here, and you'll be on the next row. Not that first row, just the second row. And going from bottom to, yeah, second row. Going bottom to top, you will place bottom to top, God Jesus. You'll place 4 yellow terracotta, 4 red concrete, and then 4 cyan concrete. And again, you're doing the same thing on both sides. It'll just be the, like, this row here. So it's 4, 4, 4. Think of it as being the same as the archway itself, just you're adding yellow terracotta at the bottom, and you're making all the numbers 4 rather than literally anything else. Any other number is unacceptable here. Not really. So, going back from these rows, we'll start from the bottom here, and you will just go back, and you will place... I love counting. Okay, yeah, 6 smooth quartz blocks, a yellow terracotta, 6 smooth quartz blocks, a yellow terracotta, and then we will place a yellow concrete at the end there. So again, other side is 6 smooth quartz, yellow terracotta, 6 smooth quartz, yellow terracotta, and then a yellow concrete. And if I do actually break the yellow here, I will just make sure on this side here, you should be in line with this little row of 2 yellow terracotta on that final yellow concrete. And on the other side, you'll be in line with, like, this row of 3 light blue concrete, I guess. I don't know, it's hard to explain. Basically, directly above the yellow concrete, you'll see 2 yellow concrete powder and then 3 light blue concrete. Which is correct, in fact. So, yeah. You're bringing the yellow terracottas up by 3 and then doing the same thing with the 4 red and then the 4 cyan, and then we'll worry about the smooth quartz in a second. Actually, I'm not going to hit you with all that now. Yellow concrete is... I'd say it's not important, but it's kind of the most important thing in the entire build. It's literally the wall. So, yeah, it is important, but it's not important yet. I would advise connecting to the extent that you can, of course, the top cyan concretes across and together with smooth quartz slabs. Obviously, the front row will kind of say no, because there's a dome in the way, but just, you know, bring them in by the 2 that you can, and then leave it at that. You will end up having a 1-row gap here, which is a little bit unfortunate. So really from the cyan here, I believe it's the same on both sides, if I'm looking at it right. It should be, in theory. You'll place just kind of in from this cyan concrete 2 smooth quartz, and then to cover up the gap here, you'll just bring this blue concrete down by 1. And it should be a blue on both sides, which does make our life a little bit easier here, but still not particularly pleasant. You're just kind of making sure you don't have a gap here, though. Like so. Now, you can bring up these smooth quartz by... according to my calculations, at least, it would be up by 10 with smooth quartz. Which will make it 1 shorter than the pillars, which is correct. And it will also cover up, I think, all of the walls. It might not cover up that weird corner, which you should definitely cover those up. But yeah, this will also just be the height of the ceiling in the room that we're actually covering these sides of. Which is always fun. Yeah, okay, I won't cover these, so I am going to just place some smooth quartz on the outside there. Really, this is one of the only rooms that has, like, a wall layered against it as well, which is very strange. There's not a lot of rooms that are kind of back-to-back like this. Obviously, except for doorways, but this is kind of like more than one wall, you know? So that doesn't apply. You'll then place on top of each smooth quartz block a smooth quartz slab, and you will just connect them across and just fill in the entire top here. You don't want to fill any further back, because as I mentioned, we kind of have a wall there. When I say kind of, I mean the entire game station wall is there. Which will at least mark out. We probably won't fill it up to height and stuff because I don't have those numbers on hand. And I'm not about to make you wait 15 minutes as I count a wall that's like 40 blocks tall. I don't think it might not be 40 blocks tall, but you get, I think, the general exaggeration of my point. Hopefully, in theory. There you go. So, I would just take these yellow concretes here and really just extend it out to the end of the red concrete that we have there. So I'm just going to take it and go all the way, and I'll see the red ends there. And I will also bring this red forward just to confirm that I'm at the right spot, and that is correct. And I will do the same thing on the other side. We will bring this wall up a little bit again, I mentioned, but yeah. First, I would fill in these rectangles of red just in with the remaining red concrete that we'll need. Just so we have that floor done. And that is literally the entire floor done out of the at least lower level. I'm debating whether or not we do the, like, stairways in the game station parts, or if we do them as part of the segments. I think I might just throw them in a random part, because they do definitely... There's definitely, like... What am I trying to say here? They're pretty much the same. It's just like an archway, and that's like about it. The colors change, sure, but they're just a bunch of staircases, and it'll be nice to rip them all out at once rather than having like a month between each one, you know? At least for you guys. Probably for me it'll be like a week and a half apart, but, you know, well, more than that, I guess. There we go. Now that's officially your floor done. Again, I would bring this yellow concrete up until it's like 1 block higher than the cyan here. So, what is that up? 7, 11, so 12 up? I think so, yeah. 12 yellow concrete up. And then these top 2 rows you will connect over the, like, middle here. Just like so. And this will be pretty nice to have this wall built up a little bit. So we just have that prepared for later parts. But then really after this, I think the train we'll focus on next. I don't really want to focus on the actual decorations until, like, last. Just because I want to get, like, the big stuff done, because it's a lot for sure. And then we will have to do the ending room as well, which is kind of funny. I guess not the ending room, but the like, weird room at the top in the center. I don't know what it is. It's probably some control room, if I had to take a wild guess. Oh yeah, it's got a lot of levers and stuff, so control room makes sense. Maybe lights. I would check out. I'm not really sure. But yeah, that'll be probably like late. One of the last things we do, even after the ceiling, I think. Well, actually, the ceiling will be fairly early on, I think. It might be like 2 parts from now or something. But, well, no, because we want to do the train first and have all the walls done. But, I mean, yeah, that might be where I call this part. Yeah, we're about like 40 minutes, so I think that's a good point to end. Yeah, sure. Not bad progress. I mean, obviously it's not exactly a ton when you look at it, but that is a large area, so, you know, I will absolutely take that. Hopefully next part we'll be able to do, like, these. At least get the signs for them done, along with get the train laid out. And maybe even do the tracks if we can get that far, along with, obviously, the center platform here. That will be important. But, yeah, with that being said, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 10 of your... I almost just said security breach lobby. Your Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 tutorial complete. Thank you guys for if you guys did enjoy this video. Do let me know how you guys are feeling at this point in time about this tutorial. I will obviously finish it regardless, but I do just want some general feedback of how everything is going, because then I can, if there's something you don't like or something that I'm doing, then I can definitely change it for the future segments. Anyway, with that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.